Welcome back for part 2 of how I made this quilted corset. You're going to need to trim off the excess batting from around your corset. This is completely optional, but I wanted to add a trim to the top of my corset, so I pinned it in place and then stitched it. Using my scraps, I just cut as much strips as I could along the 45-degree angle of the fabric to make bias tape. And since I need a long strip of fabric for bias tape, I just sewed those pieces together. Moving on to our lining, I just measured out each panel's seam allowance and cut the boning channels accordingly. I laid the boning channel in the middle of the seam allowance and then stitch on the edge of the boning channels. It's very important to round out your boning so it doesn't poke you or stick through your fabric. It also makes it easier to insert in the boning channels. Pin your lining and your self fabric recess together and stitch the top of that at 1/2 inch. Notice that my boning is sticking out the bottom so I don't sew over it when I'm stitching the lining and the self together. Cut off your excess trim. Move all your seam allowance over to your lining side and top stitch it to your lining. That's it for part 2. Come back tomorrow for part 3 so we can wrap this up.